Hello everyone, welcome to the Healing Truth channel. My name is LaFrance. I actually filmed this video and I just start laughing so hard I just couldn't even. I had to basically redo my video, so I got to get it together because man, okay. Um, Thank you for tuning in to my video, my motivational Monday. On this beautiful, beautiful day, we all woke up. You're breathing. You have life. You know, we have a lot to be thankful and grateful for. Um, what I really wanted to talk about this evening, I've spoken about it before in a previous video. If you can go back and check it out and see the video that I did prior, I think it was a couple weeks ago, and it was basically talking about this bill they're trying to pass to ban abortion. I really don't agree with it at all. I'm sure a lot of us don't. But this is something that I feel we have to think about as a collective, as humanity, as a community. Things that we have to think about because people are so dependent on this system and they're getting so upset because we don't feel like we have a voice when you do have a voice. I honestly don't feel that they're going to ban it all over the state. I just, for some reason, I may be wrong, but I don't feel they're going to ban it in every state because it's just not going to make any sense. If they do, then you need to wake up and understand what's happening in this world and why things are happening the way it do. I feel they're using this again as another distraction so people can keep their minds and focused on that. This is a time where it's time for people to really start to wake up and understand that it starts with you guys. It starts with us. It starts with the people. It starts with the community. Folks are constantly putting voting and I'm really not into that. I don't do it because they're going to do what they're going to want. They're going to do what they want to do regardless. It's not going to matter whether you vote or not. And people hate to hear the truth, but the truth is the truth. It's not going to matter because the system is already set up a certain way so that whether you vote or not, it's going to still happen. But it's kind of like they make it seem like you need to vote, like your vote matters. It doesn't. Your vote does not matter. I'm just keeping it real. A lot of people get so offended over that. Your vote does not matter. It just doesn't, because this is the way it's set up. This is the way the world is. We live in a staged world. Things are set up for a reason. It starts with the people. We're too dependent on this system. This system is failing. It's crashing. There's a lot of things that's being done to wake people up to see what times we're in. When they start taking away your rights, women's rights, because let's just be real here. Women was always second class, especially black women. But women, period, was always second class. Just like you go to some of these other countries, they women can't even come out without turbans and faces tied up because they feel it's certain things that I just feel like it's going to really take women to really step up and really do the work in the communities, because without us, they have no power. They're getting power off our energy. They're getting power off for hearing people complain and being a whole uproar, acting like, these folks losing their mind because they trying to ban abortion. This is one thing. This is why I don't agree with it, because I've never been able to understand how people don't really have the sometimes you gotta be logical. I'm going to say it that way. Be logical. They have to be logical. And what I mean by that, you have a young child who gets raped, 13, 14, 15, end up getting pregnant. She's still at home. Her mom is all struggling. They barely making it. Then this baby just so happened leaving school, gets snatched up, she gets raped, something happened to her, she gets pregnant. I mean, raped bad. Not trying to put that out there, but I'm using that as an example because this is the picture that people need to see, because you got so many clowns and goofies out here that just get so upset. You don't have a right to abort that baby. I'm not for that. I don't believe in it at all, but I believe there are certain circumstances and cases where I feel they should have that right if they choose not to. Because what we got to this is another thing what we have to understand. People take death too personal. You got to understand you're a spiritual being. No matter what happens with that baby, if you abort that child, this is my thing. And let me say this, because I don't want to sound like I'm I don't have any compassion, because I love babies. I love children. I'm pro-life, but I'm also about logic. We got to think about the domino effect. If they ban abortion all over the country, how many people going to be popping out babies? You got rape victims. People that's out here being raped. People who's out here on drugs and things like that, got all these different issues going on. You telling these people they can't take care of that before it hit us? Like, I say, this is how I feel about it. Once that baby start forming, then nah, because it's forming. But you have certain times where the egg is developing. I feel maybe 1 month and 2 months is at the most. For me personally, 2 months should be it. Because babies start forming. That's when we have to start thinking deeper and more logical. Make sense. Make it make sense. Because you have people out here, and for all these pro-lifers that's out here all in an uproar, acting a clown, because people people feel they shouldn't be banned in abortion, which I don't agree either. They shouldn't do it, but I honestly don't feel like they're going to ban it all over the state. I just don't feel like that, because it's not going to make sense if they do. If they do, then you got to wake up and see what's going on in the world. That's just one. They keep showing y'all where we headed. They keep showing y'all. But people not getting it. Some people just not getting it. You got to understand where this world is headed. When they take away your woman rights and say you can't abort no babies, it doesn't matter if that 14-year-old baby got raped and her mom and them can't afford to take care of it, then what they going to do? Had a baby. And then what if the baby come out with some type of issues, or they can detect that early, and the mom like, well, we can't afford, we're not going to be able to do it. Who's going to help them with the resources to take care of that? Who's going to really step in and provide the emotional support that's needed? Yeah, there's resources and things out there, but it's deeper than that. Because now that's a whole responsibility no matter what. Nobody wants to just sit on a system and get help from the government all the time. You have people already struggling and they get in these type of situations, but they're forced to keep that child by somebody who raped them. We don't know what this person had. What if they had something, a certain type of STD, an uncurable STD, then the baby come out that way and all that. These people, they got to make that make sense. And then you got to understand, that's emotional too. That's an emotional thing for a child to have to endure. A baby, and to say that baby so then if you can't keep it, she's not going to be able to take care of it. The mom say, I can't do it, we're going to have to get rid of it, we can't abort it. Now remember that we can't abort it, so we got to either get it adopted, put it in the system, get it adopted out. Then now you're going to have more children in foster care. More children needing to be adopted, more children growing out of the foster system, more children with more emotional issues, a lot of these children being put in foster homes who not being properly assessed. Some of these foster parents don't even need to be foster parents because you don't know what the heck they doing to these kids. Trust and believe me, I know. So you got the increase of casework. They're going to need more caseworkers. The increase of caseworkers. Some of these caseworkers are overworked and some of them lose compassion. They're just doing it for a check. Not all of them, because there's a lot of great, beautiful ones who really love children, but there's also, and there's a rotten apple everywhere in everything. Let's just be honest. You're going to have more cases who can't keep up with them. So more children getting lost in the system. More children are not going to be checked on, put in homes who could be possibly being molested, being abused, being taken advantage of. So I'm just saying, make this make sense. So you guys are going to ban abortions so that these children can have maybe a chance at life. So they're living in misery as opposed to not even allowing the vessel to come through to even experience that, because that spirit, whether that baby stopped at the front door, that spirit gonna go somewhere else and come through a different way. We got to understand it on a spiritual level. People are not looking at it like that. People get so wrapped up in the physical. That's what's wrong. And that's what a lot of things, that's what I'm saying too. Like, we got to really start going deeper in this. Be logical. Who are you to tell this young lady that she can't have an abortion after she's been brutally raped? Now, for some folks who out there just being straight irresponsible, negligent, you know you got a chance of getting pregnant. You out here reckless. You just out here just being ratchet. I'm saying it how I feel, how I see it. It's ratchetness. When you out here just popping out babies, sleeping with everybody, and you just being reckless, and that's different. As opposed to oops, you know, people make mistakes. Now, I'm just not sitting here like I'm a saint and I'm perfect, because we all make mistakes. But now we have to be more cautious with what we're doing when it comes to our body as a woman. When we're being intimate with partners, when you have sitting up here having multiple partners, and you're not protecting yourself, and you already know you're fertile, and you just want to keep having babies. You know that in some of these men too, constantly sitting up here sleeping around with all these different women, just reckless, not protecting themselves, just laying up with women, not protecting yourself, popping babies in women, and then these women, you know, to go and have. I'm just saying, my thing is this: you can have all the babies you want as long as you want. You gonna take care of them, hey. But just to be out here reckless and constantly, because there are situations and young ladies who sit up and have there's mistakes, but that's their body. They have a right to do what they want. Don't get me wrong with that. I'm not saying anything in that department. I'm just saying we have to be more proactive. Young women also have to be more proactive when it comes to your body now. Because I feel like they're going to make it difficult to the point where they're going to ban it in a lot of states. This is just my personal opinion. I haven't really been following it like that. Or maybe this is what they've already been talking about or what they're doing. I really don't know. I just heard a little bleep about it. So, you know, I get a download from Spirit and I'm like, bam, I just do a video on it because I've already talked about this before. You know, I've already had this discussion before about this. And I feel like, excuse me, my little, nose clip I got from, I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah, I'm not picking my nose, y'all. It's just a little nose clip. I liked it. I thought it was a pretty little jewelry. I got at the little carnival, little festival in Chicago. I like it. It did have a rose quartz heart on it, but I felt it was kind of bulky, so I just took it off and, you know, redid the wire. But it was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful networking, connecting and stuff. Just seeing various vendors and things. It was beautiful just to see my people out there. Just a lot of great it was a great time. Anyway, but I feel like it's something that we have to really kind of think about when it comes to, I haven't, like I said, I wasn't really getting in, I didn't really follow it like that, but my personal opinion, I think they're going to make it difficult. I think they're going to ban it in a lot of states in the U.S., to the point where maybe they're doing like a survey or doing research as to what states have the highest rate of abortions and banning it there, you know, and they may make it to the point where it is a lot and people would have to travel, and that's money, gas, and, you know, maybe you have to fly somewhere, you know, it's going to be a headache. So maybe they want to make it as difficult as possible, so maybe they can have people start thinking twice. You know, women and men start thinking twice before they out here just being negligent and having babies, you know. Because you never know what the situation is, you know, why people do what they do. But We can't keep making excuses for negligence. I'm not talking about people who have mistakes. Mistakes happen. We're human. I'm not talking about that. So I don't want people getting their panties and underwear in a bunch. What I'm saying. What I'm saying is those who are out here negligent, knowing they being reckless and having these babies, then want to keep having abortions and stuff. You got to start thinking twice now. And then for them to even think about trying to ban it everywhere, make it make some sense. Where are all these children going? So you're going to have more cases of poverty. You're going to have more cases of people. You got to think about why people have abortions too. Why do women feel they could do that? Why do they do it from the beginning? What makes you want to just go and say, okay, I'm about to have an abortion. I can't take care of this baby, or I don't want a baby right now. You know, things happen. Hey, I understand things happen. I'm not perfect. All I'm saying is we are now in a time where we have to start opening our mind and really being logical. We got to make it make sense. Banning abortion all over the place. Okay, what do we need to do in our communities? What type of resources can we provide? Can we provide intimate packages, health packages, care packages, for with, free condoms and shit. I mean, excuse me, stuff. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cuss like that, but we provide like free care packages because it's hard out here. You know what I'm saying? It's hard out here for some folks. I'm like this. I'm about to be all the way honest. If you can't afford no condoms, you don't need to be out there having sex. I'm just saying. Like, if you can't afford to go get you a condom, you don't need to be having sex. And the reason why I'm saying is because there are some people out here who don't need to be out here having sex. If you can't, I was in a store and oh man, this is crazy. So I was at the store and the store clerk, it was this guy, he walked in and walked right out with something. I don't even know what it was he walked out with. And she was like, did he just, I didn't notice that he walked out with something. So, that ain't my business. I don't be getting all in that. I was like, yeah. She's like, where? I was like, I think he right there. I seen him walk out, but I didn't say nothing because I didn't know what was going on. So, she was like, I was like, yeah, I think that's him right there. He was walking across the street like he was just, But anyway, that wasn't the case, But she started to tell me about somebody. It was a guy coming in the store stealing condoms out the box. And I'm not saying this to be funny. I'm saying it because it's like, if men have to go and steal condoms, what can we do at least he try to be safe. But at the same time, if you got to steal them, you don't need to be having no sex. Folks out here, man, I'm not going to say it. I'm going to just leave that part alone because man, you got to, it's called priorities. Like, if you out here just having sex and you can't afford to, you don't need to be doing it. I'm just saying, people got to start thinking with this and not this, so these are some of the things that I feel like we in the community, there's nothing wrong. People should be comfortable to be able to go somewhere and say, well, I need some, contraceptives. Am I saying it right? I don't know. Contraceptives. I think it's contraceptives. Yeah. Yeah, contraceptives and things. Protection. That type of stuff. Even provide them with the morning after, day after pill for some of the women who feel. I'm just saying, hey, people may not like to hear it, but these are things we can help to prevent. These are preventative measures to help people get care packages together for people so people can get this stuff for free so that they can be confident and comfortable with, having sex. without bringing in a whole nother life with that type of, it's bringing in a whole nother life is huge. People don't think about it in that moment. They all in that moment. But soon as you realize you got something on the way, folks lose their mind. Either you wanted it or you didn't. Some cases, some people are okay with it, because I don't feel like any child is a mistake. I feel like things happen for a reason, even for those who have aborted. I feel like it will happen for a reason. The spirit of that child will come back in somebody else as something else. So we don't know. We can't, everything is divine. It's all in the divine. Whether we want to believe it or not, everything happens for a reason. But we also got to know when we are out here just being reckless, and we not really realizing the consequences and repercussions of this, of them banning abortion all over the state. Increase of everything. More of our children lost in a system, or more poverty. More issues more mental issues, more depression, more stress. What can we do to lighten this as a community of people? We got to stop worrying about focusing on what the government and the council, the cities, the senates, and all of them. We got to stop worrying. I'm not going to say stop worrying about it. I'm not going to say that, because it's easier said than done, because there's a lot of stuff that goes on, that is going on. But we also have to open our pineal gland and start looking deeper into why things are happening the way it is. It's time to wake up and understand what times we are in, and how you have to you're being forced to use your mind. People are being forced to use their mind, vibrate higher, think different. Don't be so programmed to believe everything that you see. If that's the case, what can you do in the community? What is it that we can do to put our brains together to help our community, so we can build the morale, build the trust, build the love, build the compassion, build the understanding, the things that's necessary for people to really work on changing the things that they have going on, or provide the necessary help for people. They don't understand, if you have a child that's been raped, what that baby's supposed to do if she 13, 14 years old, been raped, and they already struggling and going through hard times at home. And so she, and then you got people that's probably been raped by what you got. I'm just, people may not want to hear this, but I keep it real. I keep it real. So you have somebody get raped by somebody who got like an incurable STD, HIV, herpes, something like that. People somebody get raped with that, especially HIV. That's something, you can't get rid of that. That's something that's, you got, then this baby, it's a chance that the baby could come out with that. So this person find out what happened, what they have going on, then they find out they're pregnant. They're already dealing with the stress of, now they have this incurable STD, and now they're pregnant by somebody who brutally raped them. So what do you think they're supposed to do still, if they choose that they don't want to keep that baby? I want to have an abortion immediately. So they can't have an abortion. So now they're stuck with this STD, on top of possibility that the baby could have it. Not always, because what we got to understand, we are made very special. A child can be born without catching HIV from the parent, because they're protected. They're in that placenta. It's a protection. It's not going to touch, it may not even touch the baby. But you got to understand the emotional effect of it. On top of, this is only just one example I'm using, because it's time for the system to wake up. They're not going to wake up. So it starts with us. It starts with the people. What is it that we can do? What is it that we need to be doing? Do we need to sit around and keep complaining, fussing, and worked up over what they're doing? Or what do we do as a community to try to build the people up? Because you're being forced to do the inner work. People are being forced to go within. And it starts with this. What can we do to do the necessary inner work? So I just wanted to come through with this video. I have spoken on how I feel about the abortions, because like I've stated before, I feel like certain places should force abortion. Not force abortion. Let me reiterate, because I don't believe abortion should be forced on anyone. I feel like there needs to be preventative measures for certain individuals who are notorious, for women who have issues, who have a history of having babies. And I'm talking about drug addicted women, women on drugs. That's what I'm talking about. Women who are on drugs and mental illnesses, who are out here not getting the proper care and treatment. So they're not in their right mind. So they're constantly having baby after baby after baby. And these babies are coming out addicted to drugs. And these babies have a hard time finding placement. And then it's a lot of work for people when babies come out this way. So this baby is suffering through life. Instead of these hospitals, if y'all want something to do, start enforcing people to get their tubes tied that have a history of mental illnesses and addictions to drugs. It should be a crime for them to keep allowing. And I'm okay. Let me not, because it shouldn't be a crime. It should be one of those situations where it becomes a endangerment for them, for these hospitals to keep letting these same patients come in and keep having these babies. One baby that they had, you have a whole record of how many times this woman have come in and had these babies, and you immediately had to take the baby away from her and give it to a family member or the system. This same individual many times, and you refuse to tie the tubes because of the religious beliefs of the hospital? That's a whole nother story, because I don't even want to get into religion, but that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story for other days, straight up. Like, I'm not even going to get into that, because it just don't make any sense. It's oxymoron. It's ridiculous. It makes absolutely no sense. So your beliefs and that system is so much more important than this child that's being constantly these babies that's constantly being popped out by this drug addicted woman who has mental issues, who's not getting the proper care that she needs, and she's not in her right mind. So she's out here on the streets constantly having babies. You see the babies that keep coming in your hospital, but you refuse to tie the tubes because it's against your beliefs. It's against the I forgot what they said. I'm like, what? That's what they need to focus on. Pass a bill for mandatory tubal ligation. That's what you worry about. Focus on that. Since you want to ban abortions, start focusing on court orders to mandate, filing court orders, so some of these women who have a history, and notorious history, of having babies that they not even keeping. They can't even keep. So they just go to the system. It's just like, oh, well, go to the system, go to a family. Come on, we got to do better. That's what I'm saying. That's one thing that I say I'm strong about, that, because that's just how I feel in my heart. There's so many things that could be done, preventative measures for certain cases and certain things. Y'all want to okay, you don't want to ban abortion, then start doing stuff that's going to that's going not going to allow no babies to even come into this world, where people don't have to feel like they have to do that. Because some folks don't need to, and I'm just being honest. Now, good, healthy, in their right mind, I ain't saying that. I'm talking about these folks who got serious issues. We gonna be real here, because a person not in their right mind and addicted to drugs is just not in their right mind. They don't know. They're not thinking consciously. Their body is being taken over by different entities, so they're not in their right mind. They're not functioning like a person with a healthy brain. So they're not making logical decisions like we do. So they need help. So that means after they had that baby, we're going to go in. This is a mandate order. You, next time you come in here, we have paperwork showing we have to tie your tubes. Period. And if hey, there's so much that could be done with that. I'm just saying, I'm all about that. I feel like we also have to be respectful for the babies that's coming in, how they're suffering too. It's not always just about, this religious system. But thank you guys for tuning in to another one of my videos. Thank you so much. Remember, life balance is within you. Stay at the highest of vibration as possible. Always keep your mind open to what's going on and just understand where we are, the times we are in, how important it is to start doing what you can do for humanity. It's about humanity now. We can't keep expecting the system that's being ran to be for us when it hasn't really been for us. It really hasn't. It's we got to figure out how we're going to, what we can do. And it all starts with this and this. It starts with your heart, then it starts with your mind. And you have to think logical. You can't get yourself so worked up. We got to understand, too, what certain things are distractions. Don't just get wrapped up in one story. Every time you hear one story, you're so focused on that one story, you're being distracted from the major things and changes that's happening on this world. Because it's a beautiful thing right now. It's beautiful. And I'm not saying this whole abortion banning, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about within. It's within you. You can live the life. You can choose to live in fear, worry, self-doubt all your life or every day, or you can choose to live in a blissful place and know that who you are. Understand who we are and why we were created. We all have a purpose. Everyone has a purpose. Some people are just figuring it out. You have to know what your purpose is, and certain things are being put in our face so that we can really move in our purpose to start connecting with the universe, connecting with nature, connecting with the divine, connecting with each other, humanity, getting out here and really figuring out what we can do. We're over this. We over all this government and stuff. Over it. I'm so over it. I'm just totally over it. I don't do that. I don't get wrapped up in that anymore because I understand what times we're in. So you guys have a beautiful, beautiful night. I love you, each and every one of you. Thank you for tuning into my video. Thank you for all the beautiful love out there. Definitely going to keep going no matter what. It's a beautiful thing, beautiful change, and peace, love, and light.